What's poppin'?
What's going on, Tony?
What's up? What's up, Big G?
Everything.
Man, blessed. You know, I'm here to get some knowledge, man.
Let's get it. Just dropping in the message real quick that we're about to get started.
Okay. How's your weekend? How was everything? How's it been for you?
It was good. It was, we're not big. I've never really been big on Halloween growing up.
Oh yeah, me same.
So it was a really laid back, relaxful night, and then just got home from church, and man,
Right on.
my pastor was not just coming raw today, man. Like,
Hey. Sometimes we need that. That's like that thorough cleaning that we need, and that self check.
oh yeah,
You know,
we're absolutely.
definitely.
He had me most definitely feeling some type of way, but it was one of those just getting better, right? You know what I mean? Like you said, that heart check, that realness of what like, and I'll just say I won't go too much on a tangent. What the body and what the Christians don't want to hear, but need to hear.
Yeah, man.
100.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
he had me in a couple moments. I'll be real, fam. He had me crying twice, like just straight, like, get yourself good. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Right. But everybody, thank you so much for coming on. There's a couple of us. I know RJ and a few other people. We're all one team, man. Team IME, Team IM. We're one family. We're one squad. We're one team. Okay, Lauren, I can't log on. Okay. Let me drop a different link. For some reason, some people can't log on to the recording. So let's see. Security. No.
Yeah, but it's the same information like on Mondays and Tuesdays, right?
Yeah, it is. Sometimes it's it could be a PC thing. So let me see. So I love my MacBook. I got all my apps saved. I can just copy paste. Boom, boom. Try this one. So you guys, as we get it going, want to most definitely just appreciate you guys for hopping on. Matty Pips has done some amazing trainings when it comes to support, resistance, trend lines, how you can take that information and really help you even get more accurate with Cashtrap, right? So this is for sure going to be a forum where if you have any questions, if you don't want to type it in the chat, please feel free to even just raise your hand and I will unmute you and you can ask your question, right? This is going to be, I don't have a set time frame on this. This is going to be very much so. If I can answer all of your questions, I want to most definitely do so, right? I want to go into the nitty gritty of support, resistance, and trend lines, like what Matty Pips does to just restructure and reassure himself of what's going on when utilizing Cashtrap, right? It's always great to be able to mark up your charts. It's always great to understand where it is that you're going. So I'm going to just touch on a few fundamentals, right? Fundamentals of trading, fundamentals of mindset, fundamentals of how the market moves, right? Because here's the reality. The market repeats itself, okay? We're going to simplify trading to where a fifth grader can understand it. The market repeats itself. Why does the market repeat itself? Because the market is based around the economy and economical news and elections and special elections and and things of that sort, which are directed and impacted by us, the consumers. And guess what? We are habitual. We have our routines, and guess what? We repeat ourselves. So understand that it's not anything that's drastically, out there, right? I'm gonna touch a little bit on Fibonacci and how to use the Fibonacci tool, right? Because there's a lot of variables that can really help you understand what the market is doing. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and just share my screen and let's get this show on the road. And I have everybody here on the side. So if you guys do have any questions, I can check you guys out. And I have the chat box open. And again, if you want to just raise your hand, feel free to raise your hand and I will most definitely answer your question. Okay. So I do not recommend that we go out and purchase anything needed with TradingView, right? The reason why I don't recommend that is because I don't want us to get away from Cashtrap and think that we have to look at TradingView to trade, okay? I solely use TradingView to mark up my charts. You can get this on the free version. If you want to pay for the little monthly to be able to have a couple of other indicators, by all means, you most definitely can, but it's not needed, okay? It's not needed to be able to utilize this to do what we need it to do. Now, to go a little bit more in depth on how to use TradingView, when you go over here to the top right-hand corner, you're going to see the chart properties, okay? And looking at the chart properties, when you click on that, this is your complete layout. So if you look at TradingView standard, I believe it's a white screen and it has lines going vertically and horizontal, right? So what I did is I've always been a dark mode type of feature type of guy. I like things to be more easier on the eyes. So you can change on appearance, you can change your background to whatever color it is that you want, right? And then what I do to get rid of all those other lines, the vert grid lines and the horizontal grid lines, I make it the same color of my background, okay? I personally like to have the session breaks, okay? Because I like to know when the market is being opened up on the universal time chart, okay? So I have the chart breaks set up. You can modify what size you want the numbers to be on the side, the color, the size. This you can customize it however it is that you want, right? You can change your symbols, right? Blue, mine is blue and red. You can change it to go with Cashtrap, right? And you can have your up candles be green and you can have your down candles be red. But you can customize this on where it is. And make it personable to your liking, right? So that's a little bit how you look at your charts and the variables of that, right? When you go over to the top, when you go over to your watch list over here on the right, you can put all of the currency pairs that you want to look at, okay? I personally only have two. Well, I have three flagged. I have the US dollar flagged, and I have Euro USD and USD JPY for two reasons. Reason number one, success leaves clues, ladies and gentlemen. Nez Vasquez, Evan Cabral, Matty Pips, Jonathan Lopez, every trader in our company or just trader in general will tell you master one chart. We're fortunate enough to have Cashtrap where the strategy works on 5 charts. Matty Pips says it all the time. 2 pairs made him a millionaire. The Euro USD and the USD JPY. Those are his 2 favorite pairs. And he goes into explaining why they're his favorite pairs. And the reason why is with Euro USD, the US dollar is the second pair. And on USD JPY, the US dollar is the first pair. So 90% of the time, if Euro USD is going up, USD JPY is going down. Okay, that's just a little nugget. That's just a little secret on some of the things that our educators have dropped and shared with us. So I only mark up 2 charts. I have the other charts. I have USD CAD, Euro JPY, Euro CAD. I have the 5 up here on the top, right? But I only focus on the 2 pairs, USD JPY and Euro USD. Whichever pair is your favorite, focus on that pair. Euro CAD kills me. I hardly ever take any trades from Euro CAD anymore. You see what I'm saying? USD CAD. We got a little love-hate relationship. So I don't focus too much on USD CAD, right? Find your pairs that you're comfortable with and stick to it, because those pairs will help you grow as a trader. Another thing when it comes to it, don't trade at sporadically different times, okay? If you're going to trade on your own, in the beginning and even now, a habit that I've created, I trade at the same times. Obviously, we have our sessions at 8:15 Monday and Tuesdays, right? And 8 o'clock the rest of the time when we're trading with Matty Pips. When I trade on my own, it'll roughly be between 5 and 6 if I trade on my own, or I trade after 10 p.m., between 10 and 12. The reason why is this: the market moves the same. Get comfortable with the way the market moves at those times, right? If you're a London session trader, trade London session. If you're a USD session, trade USD session times, right? Get used to the way that the market moves in the needed market time. Basics: 4 sessions, Australian session, London session, US session, Tokyo session, okay? Times, I think we all know that, but to touch on those fundamentals, Sunday 2 p.m., the market opens up. Why? Because it's 9 a.m. in Australia, okay? So those are just some of the recommendations that I go with, right? And it's just to get the fundamentals, you guys, as we're going. Now, marking up the charts. My first pair that I always mark up is USD JPY. Why is that? Let me zoom out a little bit. The thing that I love about USD JPY, and I'm going to look at it on the hour, is it moves in trend consolidation, trend consolidation, trend consolidation. Okay? What does that mean? While I'm here, I'm going to just go to the middle. This is giving us an uptrend. Then the market consolidates, gives us an uptrend. Market consolidates, gives us an uptrend. Market consolidates, gives us an uptrend. Market consolidates, gives us a downtrend. Market consolidates, uptrend, downtrend. Market consolidates. The USD JPY moves in a trend, then it hangs out in the same area. Moves in a trend, hangs out in the same area. That's why I like the Euro USD, is because the pattern of it is the same, right? And those are just some of the things that I like about trading the Euro USD. Let me remove that away. So Euro USD. I mark up my charts and I do 2 things, right? So the first thing, and it's important to understand, I start off on the day, okay? I start off on the day and I mark the lows and I mark the highs and I look at the candle previous on the day to help me where the support and resistance can even be when it comes to the zones, okay? But the first thing that's important is for us to be able to understand, is we need to understand, are we in a trending market or are we in a consolidating market? Okay, so after you mark up your charts, understand which market you're in, okay? So this is what I do when it comes to the Euro USD. I get my little toolbar, I come over here, I go to the horizontal line. I use the horizontal line because I like to go back sometimes to see if that's another support area, okay? So I use the horizontal line, and let me zoom in a little bit. All right, I come here, let me remove that one, and I come here to this current candle, right? And I go to the end of the wick. Okay, I go to the end of the wick and I will put a line there. Now, I use green and red just like the arrows on Cashtrap. Okay, my support is the floor. Okay, my resistance is the top. Okay, so my support, I mark in green. Why? Because when it hits that, it's most likely going to give us an up arrow, right? And on the resistance, it's going to give us the down arrow, right? So boom, there's that. I'll do the bottom of the wick and then I'll do the body of the candle, okay? So there's that one. I'll drop another green one there. And then I'll come up to the top of the wick, right? I'll drop another one there. Now I'm going to change that to red, okay? And then I'm going to come here and I'm going to go to the body and drop another one. Now look at this, right? When we look at the candle previous on the day, look at some other zones that we have. The wick right here on the day candle is a little bit higher than the green, right? So I mark that because this can be a resistance zone, okay? This area can potentially be a strong resistance zone. Why? Because it hasn't broken out past that, right? So there's that one. I go to the previous candle and I come here to the top because again, these can all potentially be zones. I like to know as well, what are the potential zones on where the market may go, okay? So again, USD/JPY hangs around the same areas. Boom, that's all I do on my day chart. Now I go down to my 4-hour chart. So if you look at my screen on the top left area, I have the 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 30, 1 hour, 4-hour day. The way that you can add these favorites up here is this down arrow. You just click on the down arrow and just star whichever ones you want to see, okay? So those are mine. Now I go to the 4-hour and let me see what the 4-hour is showing me, right? 4-hour is showing me that it's been kind of trending and it's been respecting a couple of the zones, right? Because it's bouncing off of those green lines. I would say, looking at this, I would say that this area here is a zone right here. So why do I say it's a zone? Let me zoom in a little bit. If you look at the previous 4 candles, right, it's been hanging around this area. It's been hanging around this area right here. That's why I call it a zone, okay? Just to show you guys, this is why I identify it as a zone. How does orange look? No, let me do white. Yeah, that's better. That's why I call it a zone. It's hanging around in that little bubble area, okay? So now I know. That's all I do on the 4-hour. Let me go down to the 1-hour, and then I mark up this 1 hour. I mark up the 1 hour because I look at the 1 hour. Yes, I have it. I have this going on recorded, so I'll for sure upload it to a YouTube link, and I'll put it in our chats. So now, boom, we're down to the 1 hour, and look at this, you guys. Remember how I said I like to see my session zones? This blue line right here on my screen is when this is the last session break. So look at what the market has done. Again, understanding what the market is doing, right? Trending. It was trending in this area from this red line to this red line. It was in this zone, okay? It respected this red line. Let me make this a little bit bolder. Now, as you see the market moving, it's respected this red line right here, okay? Now, this red line on the hour, I would look at this red line, and I would change this to a support line. And I would change that, me personally, I would change it to purple. Why? Because if you look at this past area, right? If you look at this past area, it has respected this purple line. Look at it. It was flirt with it. It was staying around the area, broke it for a little bit. Look at what it did. It came back down, touched it again, touched it again, touched it again, touched it again. All these candles right here kept on touching that purple line now. So this is a strong zone, okay? So that's why I changed the color on that line. Now, coming back to the last hour, okay? Let me zoom in a little bit on this last candle, on this hour candle. If the market was open, I would be focusing on this hour candle right here. So I would change this to green. Okay. I would change the top of this wick to red. So I will be focusing on this last candle, okay? Because this is showing me where the market is currently moving, the top of the wick to the bottom of the wick. And that's all I would do in this time frame. So what I would do now is this. I can identify some zone areas on where I would want to take entries, okay? To give me that additional confirmation with the arrow. The arrow is powerful, you guys. The arrow has so many different indicators. At the end of this training, I will show you the original cash trap strategy and how many indicators go behind that up arrow and that red arrow. There's a lot behind it, okay? So now, boom, now we have the 1 hour done. Let's break it down to the 30-minute. Again, respecting this zone. It's respecting those lines. It's respecting all of these lines, right? Now let's break it down to the 5-minute, okay? Now we're in the 5-minute time frame. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So pretty much right here, let me do a horizontal just to see all the measurement of time that has gone in on this time frame. All right, so you guys see that? Let me make it a little bit thicker so we can all see it. This yellow dotted line, all this movement is in an hour. This is the last movement of the hour on Friday before the market closed. Now look at this, ladies and gentlemen. It respected this green line. It touched it. It came down. So this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a zone, right? That's why it's important for us to be able to identify the zone areas. So I would now, it's all just about coloring it in, right? I would now come to, which one is it? That's the brush, rectangle. I would turn this area probably even up to like right here. Sorry, let me add one more line. This right here, I would identify as a zone. So if the market were to come back down to 16418 and all the way down to 400, I would be looking for the up arrows in this area, in this yellow area. I would be looking for it to get back to this area to look for an up arrow. I've been able, just because of my supports, right? My support and resistance, I've been able to identify what is the areas, right? Because again, Euro USD, trend, consolidate, right? So now, what's another zone? Well, another zone that I see is right up here. So I would identify this area, right, as zones where I would want to take what? Down arrows, right? If we're in a consolidating market, we would want to have it on the top, look for down arrows. On the bottom zone, look for up arrows, right? So that's how I would mark up my charts, right? Now, another thing I would do to help me understand, are we in a trending or are we in a consolidating market? Well, let's zoom out. And this is where I'm gonna ask for some participation, right? Let's look at this on a 5-minute. What would you guys say, looking at this chart, that we are in? Are we in a consolidating market or are we in a trending market? Throw it in the chat. If you think it's a consolidating market, give me a 1. If you think that we're in a trending market, give me a 2. Boom. Boom. All you guys are right. So guess what's going to happen? It's going to respect this zone, these 2 zones. It's going to respect those zones, or guess what? It's going to break out of those zones. So if you get that arrow now, how do we understand if it's going to break or support those zones, right? That's where the currency meter comes into play. This is just marking up our charts, ladies and gentlemen. I have an iPhone. If you have an iPhone, I'm a big fan of the currency heat wave, right? I believe it's $20 a one-time purchase, but it gives you live updates. Like it gives you live. There's been times where my currency heat wave would change on me right when I enter the trade. And I'm like, oh, dang, man, I need that to be an up arrow. I need the euro to have the strength, not the dollar have the strength, right? So the currency heat wave is live. I use my 2 currency measures. I love currency strength. This is my go-to. Live charts. Let me drop it in the chat. Bookmark that, you guys. I use livecharts.co.uk, and then you'll just see it right here in the middle. It'll say currency meter strength. I think this is extremely accurate. This currency meter, it's my favorite. I'll be honest, you guys, there's been times where I wanted to sit down and trade, and if this was not active, I would cut my risk in half. I like currency heat wave. This is good. But it's just, I feel that this is my go-to, right? This is I have more confidence in this than the currency heat wave. The currency heat wave is just that additional personal confirmation, right? Now look at this. This hasn't updated since Friday. But look at the market, right? This thing, euro has, okay, now if you guys understand it, give me a 1. Do you guys understand how the currency meters work on helping you support as a confirmation? If you do, give me a 1. If you don't understand how the currency meter works, give me a 2. Okay, cool. We got a bunch of 1s. Perfect. So we look at this, right? Euro has 1 bar. USD had 5 bars. Look at what happened on the chart. It has been on a downtrend. Currency meter has that confirmation. It has been on an overall downtrend through this time frame. Matches up perfectly to what the currency meter says. So now the confirmation is there. If we zoom in and let's say we're looking for some trade setups, right? If we're in a down market, we would like for a little pullback. We would be looking for this candle, right, to give us a little pullback as close as possible to what? Our support zone. You will be looking for entries right around 489 and 505. That's what we would be looking for on our broker, whether it be bit of forex, whether it be IQ Sim, pocket options, whatever the case may be. Now, a personal little note that I've experienced and I've noticed in the past: if your broker is way off on what Cashtrap is saying, don't take the trade. If Cashtrap and TradingView are saying that the market is at 1.16450, and pocket options or bit of forex or IQ Cent or your broker of choice, right, whatever you're using, it says that the Euro USD is at 750, don't take the trade. Stay off of Euro USD. Here's the reason why. The reality is this, ladies and gentlemen. Not only are we trending and fighting with the forex market, but the brokers are a business, and they have something called OTC, off the clock. Okay, off the clock means is that the market is moving, right, but it's not moving with the forex market. This is the time where the brokers will take advantage of new entry, naive, non-analytical type of traders because they're using the software that they may not understand. And they don't think it, right? They see, oh, trading view says 450. This is moving up. This is moving up. Boom, and they'll take a trade, and it's not even in the right area, right? So remember, let's be precise. Let's look for those proper entries. Let's get all of our confirmations, because the reality is this, ladies and gentlemen, it's not if the market's going to make a move, it's when the market's going to make the move. It's going to happen. It's just sometimes there's market structure. Market structure is inevitable. You can't change market structure, okay? So that's what we would be doing on Euro USD. The dollar has the strength, so I would be looking for down arrows on Cashtrap. And now that I know what my zones are, now that I know where my lines are, right? My support and resistance, right? And my zones, and we're in a consolidating market on a downtrend, I would be looking for market to get back up roughly to about 489. That's what I would be looking for, right? If Cashtrap were to call out a trade right now, it's not necessarily, I wouldn't necessarily not take it, right? But in the back of my mind, I'm going to be thinking, okay, there's a support zone at 489. What do I got to do? Take a rollover. Okay? Take a rollover. One of the things that Matty Pips shared with me, and this is why he recommends that we don't over leverage and do 3 to 5% on all of our trades, is he does oh yeah, Ashley's furniture. Babe. Yes, sir. Sorry, you guys. So Matty Pips for sure does a 2 rollover max on every trade that is not profitable, right? If all of his indications, if everything tells him that it's going to make that move and he's confident in it, he does a 2 rollover max, right? Now, that feature is only available on VitaForex, Race Options, and IQ Cent. So he does a 2 rollover max. Time frame when it comes to the rollover. Your first rollover gives you 3 additional minutes. Your second rollover gives you 6 minutes. Okay? So now you're looking at a 12-minute trade of time for it to make the move. Okay? And I live by that. When I heard that from Matty Pips, that changed the game for me. I stopped living within that 3-minute window. Okay, I stopped living in that because the market sometimes needs to breathe, right? So I think that's very, very important for us to be able to understand what it is that we have to get accomplished. Now, that's support, that's resistance, and now we understand the trend, right? We understand the trend, and if we're in a consolidating zone, those things are very, very important, right? When it comes to a trending market, okay, you're obviously going to want to see, if you're seeing the trending market going up, you want to obviously look for up arrows in that trending market, right? And if it's a trending market going down, you obviously want to look for down arrows in that trending market. And you were going to want it at the, if it's an uptrend, you're going to want it at the support zones. If it's a downtrend, you're going to want that at the resistance zones. Okay? Consolidating, most definitely just play off of the support and resistance. What other little notes did I take? I sat back and I did a little homework. Wanted you guys to make sure I dropped some nuggets with you guys. Identify what market, trade the regular times, right? Make sure that if you're, I'm a Tokyo session guy. I love trading Tokyo session. That's just where I feel comfortable. That's my session. Started at the one, started at the day, 4 hour, 1 hour, 5 minute. Now, what I do is this. I'll break this down and I'll look at the 1 minute for my entries, right? I want to make sure that I understand how close it is and I am on Cashtrap, right? I want to make sure my charts are marked up and as close as possible to what it is that I'm trying to do, right? And get as close as possible. But now look at, ladies and gentlemen, like you can't fake this, right? Look at this one. I'm on the 1 minute. Look at, let me get my paintbrush. It broke this green line right here, okay? And once it broke it, look what it did. It worked all the way down and look at what it touched, the support. It went down right to the support. Look at that. I can. It touched it. You guys see that? It touched that zone. Let me highlight it just to make sure. Look at that. It touched that 417. Look at here a little bit further back, right? It touched this zone. Boom. It respects those zones, right? Look at this candle here. It respects the areas, ladies and gentlemen. If it's going to break out, it's going to break out. And what's great about it is Cashtrap is so accurate to these areas. Now look at this respect, right? It respected this green area right here. It didn't necessarily touch it, but look it flirted with that green line. Never broke it. It came close, a little bit closer, and then look what happened. Whoop, bounced right back off and went back up. Respected it here, right? Respected it here, right? Didn't necessarily touch the red line, but I respected it. Touched it once, and look what happened. Knocked it back down. And back down. And then boom, ping pong, right? Ping pong. It broke it, but then look what happened when it broke it. It pushed it down to the next green line, to the next support. You see that, ladies and gentlemen? That's why being able to mark up your charts and not make this emotional is so important.
God bless. Have a good day.
If anyone, let me stop sharing my screen really quick. If anyone has any questions they'd like for me to answer, raise your hand and I'll unmute you. Or, okay, there we go. I love it. Go ahead and, okay, you should be good, Lauren.
Okay, my question is, how do I learn how to mark up the charts? Do I have to pay for the TradingView site, or how can I start having my screen look similar to yours?
TradingView is free. You can just go to tradingview.com, open up just a free profile, right? I believe the free profile, you get like 3 or 4 indicators that you can throw on here. But since you're just marking it up, there's no real reason to have any indicators on your screen. You'll probably have to remove a couple free ads, right? But one thing I would say, when you're adding on your currency pairs, right, over here on your watch list, okay, on the plus arrow, when you hit the plus arrow and you type in the symbol, make sure that they're all the same chart. What do I mean by that? Let me reshare my screen to show you what I'm talking about, because there's various different charts. Cashtrap is in partnership with TradingView, and they all run off of the FXCM, okay? So over here on your right, you click on the plus arrow, okay? Euro USD, right? When you type in Euro USD, you see how there's all these different Euro USDs? Yes. FXCM, Onda, IDC, Forex.com. These are all just different brokers, okay? Cashtrap uses FXCM. So when you're adding a chart, right, make sure it's FXCM. USD JPY. Make sure you add on FXCM. That's the currency pair that you want to add on to your watch list to be able to mark up your charts.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see. Any other questions, you guys? Anything that I didn't go over? Anything you would like to know? Feel free. Like I said, this is most definitely non-structured. I want to try to answer any questions that anyone may have, just to help us get more accurate with Cashtrap. That's why when you hear Mr. Canales and myself say, hey, we're looking for it to get down to the 485 area, right? You hear us say that we're looking for specific zones. That's what it is that we've seen. And that's why sometimes myself and Mr. Canales will actually call an area before Cashtrap, right? Because knowing and understanding how Cashtrap is gonna move, that's what that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for that area. It goes to that area, boom. Then we just take the trade. All right. Let me lower your hand, ask to unmute. There you go, sis. What's up?
Hi, Mayor. This is Leisha. I had a question. How do you add the indicator at the bottom, the purple one? Is that the RSI indicator?
So
I got that right?
I use the divergence indicator. Again, Brandon Boyd and Dr. Lee, they have a great market structure and support and resistance training. And out of the RSI and the stochastic, the divergence indicator is kind of like a hybrid, right? And I like to use that one. So that indicator at the bottom is the divergence indicator. What Cashtrap uses is the stochastic and the RSI. But again, for marking up your charts, right? For marking up your charts, there's really no need to have any indicators on there, because I don't want us to get into the habit to think that we can look at TradingView to take our trades, right? We want to use the proprietary algorithm, Cashtrap. That's what's the proven strategy that's made millionaires and it's helping make us all make money. And I'll be honest, I'll be transparent, right? My New Zealand team kind of is taking a hit right now because they jumped on a couple sessions with Dr. Lee and Brandon Boyd, and they gave out some of the indicators, and they thought, well, why do I need to pay for Cashtrap? I know exactly how it's marked up. Unfortunately, more than 80% of those people aren't trading no more because they blew their accounts. It's not as simple as just throwing the indicators on. I'll show you guys everything that's behind the original Cashtrap in a second. What are your indicators or do you just, so I just go off of the chart to mark up my charts, right? I solely, I have that indicator on there. It's just, I'm used to it. It's one of my favorite indicators. It's just a biasness. And I would say 90% of the time, my indicator is lined up right with. The only thing that I have different is my zones, right? My zones are at a 60-40. RSI and the stochastic, they have them at a 75-25. So no need to go into all those technical things. Solely use TradingView to mark up your charts. Let me load up my screen and let me show you guys everything that's behind that arrow, okay? You're gonna respect and appreciate that arrow so much more once you see this. Let me go ahead and put it on the 30-minute. This is what's all behind that arrow. Oh, hold on. Let me open up. There's a couple that I have hidden. That one's showing. Yep. All of this, right, is behind that arrow. You can't see my screen. All right. Let me unshare it. Let me reshare it. How about now, y'all? Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
All this is behind that one arrow. It's a lot, right? We have the bank market zones where the hedge funds and all the major banks are buying the markets, right? That's this whole little cloud over here to the right. All these puts and calls, and analysis, and you have the stochastic, the RSI. I don't even know what this indicator is down here. The DMI stochastic is just a lot. I even deleted one of the features. I deleted one of the features because I wasn't going to pay $50 a month anymore to be able to have all the indicators that go on this bad boy. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to pay $50 a month. I don't need it. I have it in Cashtrap. You know what I mean? So that's a beautiful thing, man. They've simplified Cashtrap so much, and they've condensed it to have it all just look so clean. Because that right there is just confusing. Like, do I look at this? Do I look at that? That's why I said, man, I love Cashtrap. Yes, of course, it's going to take us some time to be able to, familiarize ourselves with the way the pattern moves. That's why I recommend 1 or 2 pairs. If you guys noticed over time, most of my calls are USD JPYs and Euro USDs, right? This isn't old. I haven't marked up this week, but let's look at here goes my days, right? Look, it has respected this area. This is an old markup, right? Look at how.
There are 12 places a little ways from you.
All right, I wasn't talking to you, Siri. But look at it respecting. All right, you tripping. What you do, Gabriel? I don't know what I just did. I zoomed in one way or another. Trading view. USD JPY. Hour. Look at this, right? Look at it respecting the zones. Where now here we see on USD JPY, right? It's much easier. All right, you guys, let me ask you guys this. Let's look at USD JPY here on this last little session break, right? What would you guys say that the market is in? Is it in a trending market or is it a consolidating market? If it's a trending market, give me a 1. If it's a consolidating market, give me a 2. Yep, trending market. So what would we be looking for, right? What would we be looking for on USD JPY? We would want it to come down to roughly 627 if the US dollar had the strength to go in for a up arrow. You see, now you know what areas, right? What areas you're looking for the market to go, and now you understand how to trade with the arrows. That's why if you look at Nez's sessions, right? If you guys ever trade with Nez will say, hey, we're looking for calls at 625. We're looking for puts at 640. Because he understands the zones of the trend of the consolidating market. Okay? But look at the respect factor still. Respected the green arrow. Respected the green line right here, right? Respected the green line. These 2 hours respected those green lines, right? It's respected heavily in the beginning of the session. It respected the red line right here, right? It's going to respect the support and resistance areas. And when it breaks out, it will continuously break out. Right? Look at, here's the new session time. It respected it. Where's my paintbrush? Right? We had a little trend up. And then a trend down. It was here, it broke it, and it did what? It went all the way down. Touched it, and then what? Worked its way back up. It's going to respect the zones. That's what I love about being able to understand where the market is at, being able to mark up your charts. Simple. And it's just practice and repetition, you guys. Start off on your day, right? Start off on your day, do the first candle. So watch. Let me clean up this a little bit and we'll have some fun with it, right? Let me see. What is going on? And as you get more familiar with it, you guys, you'll notice that your areas are going to become a lot tighter, right? In the beginning, you're just getting used to the zones. Find your favorite pair. We all have our favorite pair. I started up marking on Euro USD. I enjoy Euro USD. That's my pair, right? And then I added on USD JPY. So for all of you ready to, start marking up your charts, you go from day frame down to minute frame, right? Boom. You go here to the day. You add on your horizontal line, right? The bottom, you want to mark them with green because you're going to want the market to go up. The top of the frames, you want to mark up the top of the wick. So the top of the wick, you want to mark up red. The top of the body, you want to mark up red. The bottom of the wick, you want to mark up green. The bottom of the body, you want to mark up green, right? So that's boom. You do that. Then you look at your previous day. So the previous candle, right? Because each candle represents a day. You're going to just do the same thing. Touch the bottom of the wick. That's going to be green. And you just go backwards. And you're going to have a bunch of lines in the beginning. And then you'll be able to, over time, it's better to have more candles than not enough, right? And then over time, you add it on, you modify it, you work on it, and you end up bringing in less candles. But that's just how you start. Boom, your day is done. Now you go down to the 4 hour. And if you see anything important on the 4 hour, draw it up, right? If you see anything on the 4 hour, draw it up. There's nothing here really that I feel is important to add on, so I'm not going to touch it. Down to the 1 hour. All right, this 1 hour, this is important because this is where I'm going to be taking my trades. Now go down to the 5 minute. Boom, look at this area. All right, I understand what's going on. I'm in a downtrend in the hour. It's showing me, right? So don't want to take too much of you guys' time on this Sunday. We've been on for about an hour. Does anybody else have any questions? Anybody else have any questions?
Hey, Mayor, it's RJ.
What up, fam?
Oh man, no questions. Just want to say thank you for taking your time out today to dropping all those golden nuggets, so we can be more strategic when we're jumping in the market, because this is very important information. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And you guys, Mondays and Tuesdays, Mr. Canales and I, we're going to keep it going. We want to get to the point where we're able to do this more often. We've talked about when we have our sessions, we're in the process of locking in the office up here in the high desert, about 2,000 square feet. We're going to be having regular opportunity events and training sessions. I'll be doing boiler rooms on a regular basis for training, not just on the recruiting side, but the trading side as well. So, as we keep stuff going, super excited. Anything goes on, shout out to San and Dion and RJ. All you guys are doing amazing, building that culture down the hill. We're about to take over the IE, Orange County, LA County. We all remember we're one team. We're one team, one vision, one mindset. And it's not just gain generational wealth, but to teach others how to keep generational wealth, right? It don't mean nothing if we can get it, but if we can't teach our children's children on how to keep it, then we were just one prosperous group of people, and ain't nobody else's life's going to be impacted, right? So appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Look forward for tomorrow. Yeah, today's Sunday. Look forward to tomorrow. Invite your friends, invite your family. It's going to be another fire session. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it growing. And appreciate you guys. I will work on turning this over to a quick little YouTube link and get this over in the chat by the end of the day. Appreciate you guys. You have a blessed rest of your Sunday.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mayor Reyes here. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, send me a friend request on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content.